Alright folks, back again here with the exercises for Chapter 9, where we learned about strings in more detail and how strings are just a collection data type, a collection of characters, of smaller substrings. We learned how, because of that, we can index them, index into them, so to say, and get slices of them, their objects, so we can do methods on them. So let's just get into it, right? So for this first question, go ahead and go through it. It isn't very difficult if you read the chapter, I don't think. Mostly it's just checking whether or not you understood indexing on these first two, the length function on this one, slicing on this one, the in functions and the not in functions, I guess, operators, in operators, and not in operators, and the use of comparison operators on strings. So we can take a look at that really quick here before we move on. Python index of 1 is y, because it's 0, 1. This string right here, index of 5, is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it should be G. The length of wonderful is 9 characters long, so 9 is the length. Mystery with a slice of nothing to 4 is mystery with a slice of 0 to 4, so 0, 1, 2, 3, so it'll just be missed because it excludes the fourth object. It excludes the final object in the slice, so it's just missed, MYST. P in pineapple will return true because there are two P's over here. Apple in pineapple will similarly return true because there is apple over here. Pear not in pineapple will also return true because nowhere in pineapple does the pear substring appear, so that will return false. Or sorry, that will return true because pear is not in pineapple. Apple greater than pineapple, it will return false because apple is less than pineapple. It's sorted earlier than pineapple because it starts with A, whereas pineapple starts with P. Pineapple less than peach, similarly, will return false because uppercase P is sorted lower than lowercase p. So let's check our answers. Y, G, 9, missed, true, 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 false, false. So there we go. Alright, so write a function that will return the number of digits in an integer. Okay, so we're going to define a function, find number digits. Sure, that's fine. And then we're going to want to take in an integer, and we'll call it I. Returns the number of digits in integer I. Okay, so think about some of the stuff that we have learned so far. We know that we can get the length of a string. So if we take the integer I and we make it into a string, cast it into a string like we did so long ago when we were using inputs, right, and changing strings to ints and ints back to strings and so on and so forth. If we make a variable that holds a string version of I, we can then get the length of string I and return that. So I'll just go ahead and do that right there. Okay, and that should work. And then we will print find number digits. Let's try 42. And similarly, let's try 9001. So there we go. 2 digits in 42 and 4 digits in 9001. So that's problems 1 and 2 already out of the way. Let's take a look at number 3. Number 3 is asking us to write a function that removes the first occurrence of a string from another string. So it's going to find where a substring, as we call it here, whether or not that appears inside of the original string, and if it does appear inside the original string, to return a new string that will be a version of the old string but without the substring in it. So for example, if you look down at our test here, if we call remove an on banana, it should remove the first occurrence of an, leaving us with just bana. Same for CYC and bicycle, should remove the CYC here and leave us with bile. ISS and Mississippi will remove the first occurrence of ISS and leave us with just Mississippi. So there is a method on the string object that can do this for us. So if you haven't if you don't have that string method list open from earlier in the chapter, go find that and open it, and make sure you're reading through those and thinking of those as you're going through these exercises, right? So I know for a fact that if we use the string function .find, we can use that to find whether or not something occurs in a string, a substring, whether or not a substring occurs in our original string. All right, and that will return a value of either I think -1 if it does not occur, or it will return the positive value of the first time it occurs within the string. So for example, an down here, if we run if we run banana.find an, we would go through banana and we'd see b and we'd see an, and so we would take this an, we'd say it occurs at index 1, so that would be what the return on this is. It'll return a digit, and that will be the index. So we'll call it idx is what I use generally for my temporary index variables. Again, there's no reason you couldn't call this whatever you want. It's just what I use, or if I want to be more specific, I can use something like this, first index. That way I can be more specific about which index I'm talking about. In this case, we only have to worry about one index, so we'll go ahead and just do idx. And then now that we know the index of where it occurs in the original string, what do we need to do next? Well, we need to take it out of there, right? So there are a couple different ways that we can do that, one of which is we can create a new slice of the original string and essentially excise, right? Excise that piece. So if we do new string and have it be equal to a slice of banana, so original string and let me see, if I wanted to do banana, for example, it would be idx is 1, so I would want to do this to idx, which is going to get the first half of the string that comes before our indexed variable here. And then I'm going to want to also get the other half of the string, which I could get to by calling make sure I get all this on screen, which I can get to by calling, pop this down so we can see it for now. I can get to by calling a slice that starts at idx, which in the case of banana will be one that starts at 1, and then I will want it to get the next 2 objects, the next 2 essentially things. So starting at 1 and just getting the next object. So how can I do that? Well, I know the length of my substring is going to return 2, so if I do idx plus 2, it will get me 1 plus 2, which will return 3, which is what I want, because if I wanted to get just the an out of here, I would do idx, which is currently 1. So for example, I would do 1, 3 in order to get an out of there, which is going to get me the string of 1 and the string of 3. So that's how I would get that. But I don't want that, right? I want to get what comes after that. So I want to start my my slice at IDX plus the length of the substring. Is that going to get me what I want? We'll test this out. I think it might have to be this, but we'll test it out just this way first. And then I can leave the ladder side of the slice empty. That'll just take it to the end of the string. So having the right side of a slice empty means the slice continues on to the end of the string. Having the front side of the slice empty means that it starts at the front of the string. So let's oops, that's not right. We want to return new string. And I also need to make sure that I bring this back up here. There we go. Alright, let's run this. Okay, so that was close. So that did work. That did return what I wanted. IDX plus length of substring would be IDX 3. Yes. Okay, so that is what I wanted. This is the correct phrasing for the right half of my slice. But I messed up in that I needed to make sure that I account for the value, the substring not actually occurring inside of here. So if it finds it looks like if it finds one second. Okay. If it finds if it does not find, sorry, the substring in there, it looks like it should just return the original string. So if IDX is less than 0, that is, if the find of the substring did not find anything in the original string. So egg does not occur in bicycle. So bicycle find egg will return -1. So if IDX is less than 0, return original string. Right, that should run, and that should pass. Awesome, there we go. So that's the first 3 here. Let's take a look at the book's answer for this to see what I did differently from them. So their answer is actually exactly the same as mine. So I guess we did it correctly. So there you go. That is the first 3 of this chapter. I hope that this is coming a little bit easier to you guys than the last couple of chapters has. I know we've been struggling, but this stuff I think is a little bit more concrete than some of the more abstract stuff that we've been talking about. So I hope this is finding you well. Let's keep on working on it, and we'll get there.